So what is my worst and best stock that I've invested in 2021? What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and I thought that this would be an interesting concept to talk about because people are always asking me what stock they should buy and what stock they should sell and at what levels. And at the end of the day, you should never be told what to do. You should understand what to do. And what I wanted to share with you today is not even to have you focus on the stocks that I'm talking about. Those are more just examples, but I want to talk about what makes up my worst stock and what makes up my best stock, so you can kind of view that criteria, and the next time that you plan to maybe take a position or sell a position, you can take that into consideration to have a better understanding of the overall makeup of, is that a good investment or is it better to wait? So I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I have going on, and I'm going to keep this super short and sweet. If you like this video, I really just hope you can drop a thumbs up and explain to me in the comment section what you would like to see in the next one. So no question, what makes my best stock of 2021? I've been day trading this, I've been swing trading this, and I've been doing this not only for 2021, but of course since the talk of it being added to the S&P 500, and it's Tesla. Two main reasons. I'm going to keep this one super short and sweet. What is the makeup? What makes up a solid stock? What makes up my best stock? It's been super bullish, right? The overall direction is in my favor. It's been making higher highs, higher lows, and it really has not stopped. Even the past week, it's been consolidating, but it really hasn't pulled back. Now, this isn't going to last forever, of course. All great things must come to an end, and we have to always take the downside or the pullback into consideration. But the first thing has to be, it's not that it's easy to make money in the stock market, but it's so much easier when the overall direction is in your favor. And let me know in the comment section if you agree. A lot of these stocks, meet this criteria. Very similar, kind of like ETF can be TQQQ. It's not easy to make money in the market, but when something is continuously bullish and the direction is in your favor, then it is a lot easier to be able to stay profitable big picture, especially if you're maybe under the PD2 rule or you want to get into swing trading, right? Making sure that at least that criteria is met. And the second thing is Tesla EV tech is super relevant and super bullish right now. And again, it just comes down to the position that I'm put into right now. This is super relevant, and this is what is doing extremely well. So this is what has allowed me during this current period of this current time to do extremely well. And Tesla's just one of many examples, right? NIO, a lot of just tech-focused stocks, a lot of tech-focused ETFs, such as TQQQ, which is the NASDAQ Bull ETF. Now that we talked about what makes up my best stock, and I've made numerous videos, you guys have seen my overall days of how much I've made off of Tesla, some days bigger than others. What makes up and what is the makeup of my worst stock? This isn't a horrible stock, and today is not the best example because it's actually now up on the day, but it didn't start out this way, and it's Twitter. I bought Twitter after the news of President Trump being banned off of that platform, and that acted as a negative catalyst and aggressively made a drop, right? I think it dropped to lows of 45, it picked right back up, and I bought some at 47. I added more to my position, not a lot, as it was still selling off. Why? Well, because the current news is acting as a negative catalyst, and I do agree with you. The overall direction is the exact opposite of Tesla right now. It's bearish. It is against, my favor, because I'm, working on Twitter going up. I am taking a position right now to buy at these lower prices to be able to sell it back at these $55 levels, right? Because we were just at 180-day highs. But the thing that I should have taken into consideration, and I want to show you guys my open position. Let me go ahead and draw out this little limit order. I want to show you guys my open position. I have now 300 shares. I'm down $371 on the open. I'm up $152 on the day. So I was down a little bit over $500, nearly $600. And what I want to share with you is what makes up. Forget about Twitter. I don't care if you see value in Twitter. I want to talk about why this is one of the worst stocks that I've invested in 2021. And it's because the overall direction is not in my favor. I bought in before confirmation. How many of you guys have done that? And I added more to my position size, still not super heavy, but as it sold off. Now, let me share something with you. 300 shares is about $13,000 in Twitter. I normally trade when I'm fully invested anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. So this is just me getting my feet wet. This is if you're trading with a $1,000 account, taking it into consideration, right? This is you going in with, $100. It is a very light position just to have some skin in the game. But I still want to talk about what has made this my worst stock. And it is still super relevant in the idea that it's still selling off. It has not found a support. And although right now, as of today, it looks good because it's green on the day, it's still trading below the EMA line. It's still making lower lows and lower highs. The overall direction is against me. So what I want to share with you is that is the makeup of a very poor trade. And if you're under the PDT rule, meaning that you can only day trade 3 days within a 5-day period, you should only be encouraged to be that much more selective because you're only able to take advantage of 3 opportunities within a 5-day period, especially even if you're a swing trader, right? If you're trying to buy something, hold it for a couple of weeks and sell it for a profit. Let's be honest. A lot of you guys potentially, right? Because of the news that was shared, this acted as a negative catalyst for Twitter. Do I think it's going to be detrimental to Twitter? No. But it's relevant right now, and it's getting worse, if anything, right? So this thing can continue to sell off. So I decided to buy, and did I decide to buy in too early? 100%. Did I buy in too early very aggressively? I don't think so, right? 10% of my account, and I plan to average up when we get confirmation. But I want to talk about the makeup, right? And that is that it's bearish. It's making lower lows and lower highs. It's trading below the EMA line. And the last thing is, the current negative news is still relevant and it still has not found a true support level. It has not began to consolidate, kind of like this, right? When it's sold off, it begins to consolidate so it no longer makes lower lows. And then we begin to make higher highs and higher lows. So this is when it would begin to make sense that, all right, this is when I want to buy Twitter after it's sold off because, yeah, I might miss out on the lowest price point, but at least I don't have to ride something for about 10 days and it not really do anything. It's all about being efficient. And it's all about buying when it makes sense, not just buying because you can. And we talked about this within the live trading session today with the Learn Plan Profit Group. And this is the last example that I want to give you, and I'll stop boring you for the day. But I want to encourage you for 2021, if you ever take this into consideration, is how many of you guys think the stock market is too accessible? Right? You can take a trade off of your phone. You can take a trade off of your laptop or your computer, right? And although that is absolutely amazing and it's such a blessing to be able to live in the time that we live in now, it comes with huge responsibilities because the market is so accessible and we talk about a stock. You have the ability to just be able to buy it right now if you have sufficient funds in your account. I want you to take a step back and kind of detach yourself from the accessibility and imagine yourself sitting in a high rise, in a corner office, the biggest office in that building. Just imagine yourself as just a big time investor or a big time trader. This is kind of like the mindset that I think that we should be working towards. Instead of just talking about a stock, looking at it very quickly and just deciding to buy because, yeah, there's upside potential, coming up with a strategy of 3 different options. It meets your criteria and you want to buy it right now. It is something you potentially see value in, but it's not the best buy right now, maybe because direction is not in your favor. And the last thing is it's encouraged and empowered to say no. It just simply does not meet your criteria. And does that mean that it's the worst stock? No, it doesn't mean that, but it just means that it's not something that you want to put your money into because the way that you are wired, it just doesn't meet your criteria. So you have 3 different sections for where you put these folders. Just imagine you in this corner office, and instead of us just talking about a stock, every stock comes in a folder. And we just received a folder right now on Twitter. And we look at Twitter in this folder, we have 3 different options. I can put it on the top right corner of my desk, which means that this will be sent off to my assistant and we will execute a trade and buy right now. Second option is that it does not meet my criteria at all, and that's okay. And I'm going to grab that folder and throw it in the trash, and I don't want to see it again. The third option is I'm going to put it on the back right corner of my desk. It gets put in a wait list. And this wait list is something that I can follow up with on a daily, on a weekly, or on a monthly basis. Does that sound familiar? That's like a watch list, right? Instead of being so encouraged to buy a stock right now especially if you're under the PDT rule, and just ask yourself the simple question: how many times have you purchased the stock too early? And that's all I want to save you from, is I want to encourage you to be someone that is empowered to say no, that is empowered to be selective. So instead of always just putting every stock on the top right-hand corner of your desk and buying it right away because it's so accessible, you put a couple of stocks on a bigger pack, right, on a bigger stack, on the back right-hand corner, because that is on your wait list. And you're going to wait until it truly meets your criteria. That simple. And that's what I am, in a sense, doing with Twitter. Although it's my worst stock that I feel like I've invested in 2021 because the overall direction is against me right now. It is continuously bearish and it continues to get rejected off the EMA line. And the news is still very relevant on why it's bearish. I still see more upside potential based off of where it's at right now and based off of previous highs, right? So based off of where it's at right now and previous resistance levels, that offers a little bit over 20%. And even if I capture 10% of that, that would be absolutely amazing. A goal is something to work towards, not something that I have to hit every single time, right? In comparison to understanding that things can get worse before they get better. So although I do have an open position right now, it is an open position in which I can tolerate. And when I speak about this, I always talk about balance. Balance out that position size. It doesn't matter if it's something that is in your favor or when the overall direction is against you. By having a nice balance, enough money that you feel motivated to follow up with that stock, but not so much money that you become emotional. And the reason that is so important is not because of how much money you could potentially make, but it's because of how much easier, it's still not easy, but how much easier it will be for you with a smaller and more balanced position size to be able to manage your risk if it does not go according to plan. Because I know when I first got started, and this still happens to me from time to time, we feel invincible, especially when we're on a hot streak, right? We continue to take green trade after green trade, and it's absolutely amazing. But it only takes one bad trade and very poor risk management to wipe out all of your profits. And I know a lot of us have experienced that. So all I want to encourage you and empower you is to look and take a step back to what makes up a good stock and those criterias, and what makes up a bad stock and those criterias, so you can use those as examples to better place more effective trades in 2021. Ignore my Twitter position, ignore my Tesla position. They're irrelevant because I don't know if you're watching this video right now or if you're watching this video 6 months from now. You can comment down below when you're watching this. But all I know is it doesn't matter when you're watching this video. All it matters is, depending on your success and your track record, review your best trades and review your worst trades and begin to analyze what makes up your worst trades, what makes up your best trades. And again, become empowered to be selective. Work more on finding stocks that meet the criteria of your best trades versus taking advantage of any opportunity just because it's presented to you. And that's what I think I want to make sure that we avoid. So I really hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. Let me know what you guys think about my little example. I'm like the worst with analogies and worst with examples when it comes down to like the high rise on the corner of your desk. But I hope that it just puts it into perspective of how accessible this market is. And of course, with great opportunity comes great responsibility. So very excited to follow up with it. So all together on the day, I'm up nearly $4,000. Excited to follow up. There it goes. We just surpassed $4,000. And very excited to follow up with how the market performs tomorrow based off of the series of events that we have coming up this week. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do upload new videos every single day. If you guys want to join our free Facebook group, that's that first link down below. And I'll see you tomorrow at Market Open for our live trading session. And if you want to join us, that's that second link down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.